Welcome to Steph Go Racing and Fabrication. What was that head whip? I don't know. Welcome to Steph Go Racing and Fabrication. Why do I keep doing this with my eyeballs? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. It's a nice cold wet day in South Carolina today. So I got the toboggan on. Anyways, back on this guy. Last video we wrapped up where it's hacking and whacking away at the old cage. Got the main hoop out. Still need to remove the plates on the floor and the rear bars, stuff like that. So it's been a while since all that has happened. Look, I'll explain. I had a lot of this on video, basically like the step-by-step, but and I had Dad in it too, which was cool. But he's cranking the football game, and we had a little too loud. So unfortunately, all that video I did have, I can't really use because it'll probably get copyrighted. So Dad pulled out the dash. Let me block that light out. He pulled out the dash, labeled all the wiring and everything. We can walk over here real quick and look at it. Sad wiring, okay. Pulled that out, cut the window out, all that stuff. And then he was the one that actually cut out these floor plates. And he's got some pictures I'm gonna go ahead and insert in to this part where I'm talking so you guys can see. But we had to go ahead and put in some patch panels and stuff because it looked like somebody took either a chisel and a hammer, a flat screwdriver and a hammer, or an air hammer with a chisel attachment, and just ripped through the corner, just this whole area corner to slide the plate through, I guess because they didn't want to make it fit. My assumption. I don't really know what the true story is there, but Dad fixed all that. Unfortunately, the video is not usable because of the audio of just football game in the background. So, yeah. Got, ooh, way too close. Got a main hoop, rear bars, seatbelt bar, and over the weekend, Dad got a, we'll call this the first version, because it's not exactly what he was looking for, although it does look pretty good. I'll show you from the front side. This is what he's not necessarily too happy about. It's a little tighter up at the top than it is the bottom, although it still fits very well. It's the small details, you know. You want to get it as tight as possible. I mean, you step back and look. Thing's pretty tucked up in there. Looks really good. So I'm not sure if Dad's gonna get this driver's side A-pillar done before we go to PRI or not. And I'm gonna let him, you know, I let him do those. I gotta keep him happy somehow. So I let him do those. You know, one of the hardest bars to do. Just give him that to do. Give him the hardest stuff. Gotta give the old man a challenge. But anyways, I've been working on these strut bars. This side's done. I just got to do the other side. But basically, this guy kind of goes in there like so. Kind of hard to show you just with one hand. I just got to finish this one. I've got it notched out. I just got to finish that bologna slice real good on the tunnel side. Once I get done with that, that's where I'm going to stop on the cage. Because like I said, got to let Dad finish off that driver side A-pillar bar. And if he gets that one the way he wanted it, or the way he was shooting for, the way his template bar that he made fits, that means he's going to end up redoing that side over there. Although that side looks good, It's in the small details. So if he can nail down the driver's side exactly the way he wanted, he's going to end up redoing the A-pillar bar on the passenger side. And that leaves me waiting a little longer so I can do the dash bar, do the windshield bar. And then at that point, drop the cage down and go ahead and do all the welding over the top. Lay down some paint over the top, because after, obviously once you put it up and it's tight to the headliner, it's going to be a little hard. Let me get this up above my head. It'll be a little hard to, get paint all the way around those bars and not, paint on other stuff. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at with the cage. So, once I'm done with the passenger side strut bar, I'm going to move on to the engine bay, start trying to fit the Turbo 400, I don't necessarily have to fit the motor because it's already had a big block in it, but obviously we're not using these elephant ear mounts anymore, so I need to cut those off, dress the floor, not the floor, but the frame rails. Then for the Turbo 400, I know for a fact we're going to have to go ahead and dress the pinch weld back. Ooh, focus. We're going to have to dress the pinch weld back on probably the whole thing. Just give it a good all the way around. And then, because we got a mid plate, I'm going to have to go ahead and grind that pinch weld back. Basically, I'm going to take it from here, probably flush with the firewall, cut all that off, and then restitch weld that all back together. But something exciting, we designed our own mid plate, because seems, even though you can get a mid plate for a Mopar from various different companies or websites, none of them really have the offset in them. So old Dad, the wizard he is, drew one up in CAD and had one made. So if things work out the way we want it to, I guess you could say we're prototyping it right now. Basically, that should cover B and E body Mopars, if it works. Like I said, if it works. And then from there, we can, use that, trim it down, use it for the A body platform. So that's exciting. But other than that, that's kind of where we're at right now. Kind of not necessarily slow moving, consistent moving. We're kind of all over the place. But isn't life kind of all over the place? I don't know about you guys, but my life ain't structured at all. Just kind of over. Anyways, none of that stuff matters. Yeah, right on. Cool. Rambling. See you later. Welcome back. It's the next morning. It's still freezing. It's only going to be 39 degrees for the high today. It's quite chilly here in South Carolina. Not that chilly all over, but it's chilly for South Carolinians. Anyways, I got some stuff to show you. Got those elephant ears cut off, or the mounting points for said elephant ears. Came in here and, like I said, did a little trimming on the lip. Cut the lips back on the frame rails. Re-welded that up. I also did a little clearance in on the lip for the trans tunnel for that beautiful Turbo 400. And of course, obviously, I rolled it underneath there. So, where that brings us to this morning is I got the motor plate installed on the motor, and basically I got a chain installed. Go ahead and drop this thing in there. Obviously, I got to take the base off first, but after that, it's game on, like Donkey Kong, something like that. I don't know if that makes sense, but we're going to drop it in there. And then I'm going to put 1/4 inch worth of spacer between the motor and the transmission bell housing to simulate, I said that really weird, the mid plate. because right now it's a little oversized. It's not going to fit in there. So we just got a game plan. You know, right now, trying to get a location where I need to put the motor plate mounts on the chassis. And then once I get all that tacked in, welded in, holes popped, all that stuff, that's when I'll go ahead and worry about sticking the mid plate in there too. Yeah, right on. So that's going to be it for now on video until I get the motor in there. And then obviously once I get the motor in there, I'll pick up the camera and shoot a little more. But yeah, right on. All right, it's the end of the day. So let's see what I got done. I got the old big motor drop down in there. I got the transmission connected to it. I put a 1/4 inch gap in between there, in between the bell housing and the back of the block to simulate a mid plate. So this way the motor was in the right area, so I could go ahead and establish where my motor plate mounts needed to be. I did that, got those tacked in, drilled the holes for them. So all that's good. I put bolts in there just for show, I suppose. And I got the headers in there because we need to see how intrusive the tubes are going to be and how much we need to hog out on the mid plate for all that to jive correctly in here. Whatever word you want to use there. So that's kind of where we're at in the engine bay. Haven't shown you this. Get you a look at that. Got the strut bars done and just in there. They're not tacked or anything. Figured because I'm going to drop all the bars down the whole unit like that to weld it. You don't want those strut bars in there because it'll just obviously hold you up. So I realize I haven't showed you what the trunk looks like. Or if I have, sorry for showing you again. But the rear bars just come through the speaker holes and just land on each side of where the gas tank's going to be. These holes in the floor are where the gas tank mounted. So I know we're good there. Got enough space. Generally, I like to try to land them on the frame rails just for extra strength. Ooh, sorry, I burped. Ugh, that tasted horrible too. Anyways, we're going to be mini tubbing this thing. Dr. Doug was here picking up his parts, or his old motor and trans, that type of stuff. All the stuff we don't need anymore. And yeah, he said, let's do it. Let's go ahead and do it. So we're going to mini tub it. We're going to move the leaf springs inboard. We're going to fit some more meat up underneath the back and quite possibly sit it down a little bit lower. All good things, of course. But aside from that, that's kind of where we're at. It's where we're going to be for like the rest of this week because we're going to PRI. So today's Tuesday. Tomorrow we're leaving at about noon to head on north. So I wouldn't expect myself to get out here and do anything in the morning. I still have to pack because, well, I'm that guy. I wait till last second to do just about anything. But it works out for me, so. Anyways, if you guys see us at PRI, I'll be sporting a Stefco Racing Fabrication hoodie. Dad's pretty hard to miss. He's got a big old mohawk, you know. So if you see an old dude with a silver mohawk or big old, I can't show you my back. I don't know how to facilitate that. But there's a huge logo. It says Stefco Racing and Fabrication. Kind of looks like that right there, but on my back. Say hey, you know, say you know, watch the video, you know, I'll say thanks. I mean, you can tell me it sucks and I'll still tell you thanks, you know. But yeah, so thanks again for watching. I hope it's still interesting. And yeah, you guys have a good night.